What if I told you your organization could face a penalty of up to 250 crores just for failing to protect digital personal data? Sounds extreme, right? But this is now a legal reality in India under the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, also known as DPDPA. And here's where it goes extreme. If your organization collects employee data or information or even stores website forms, then you are pretty much under the scope of DPDPA. Hi, I'm Basila from CyberNX, and today I'll help you understand what DPDPA means for your organization and how you can avoid from becoming the next compliance failure. So what is DPDPA? DPDPA is India's first privacy law. It governs how organizations store, process, and use digital personal data. In simple terms, if your organization handles or collects personally identifiable information in terms of Aadhaar card, PAN card, KYC details, financial information, phone numbers, email IDs, then you pretty much fall in the scope of DPDPA and this law applies to you. The objective is straightforward: to give individuals more power and control over their own data and hold organizations more accountable on how they control and process this data. So who does DPDPA apply to? In simple terms, any organization that is handling personally identifiable information, this act is applicable to them. These include SaaS providers, e-commerce platforms, third-party vendors, HR departments, educational institutes, financial departments, banks, and NBFCs. Under DPDPA, organizations are categorized into two categories: data fiduciaries and significant data fiduciaries. Number one, data fiduciaries. These are organizations that directly store, use, process digital personal data. Number two, significant data fiduciaries. These are high-risk organizations nominated and identified by the Government of India based on the sensitivity of the data they store, use, and process. Now let's discuss the most important part: your key obligations in terms of compliance with DPDPA. Number one, consent mechanism. This means that when any organization collects or stores the data of their data principal, they need to take proper consent from their user so that the user must know how this data will be stored, processed, and used within the organization. Obligation 2, purpose limitation. This means that the purpose for which the data was collected should be ensued, which means that, for example, if you collect the data of a user at the time of onboarding, this data can only be used for onboarding purposes and later cannot be used for marketing purposes without additional consent. Obligation number 3, data minimization. This means that excessive amount of data must not be collected. Only that amount of data must be collected that is essential to the business. Excessive amount of data collection also increases compliance risk. Obligation number 4, rights of the data principal. Your data principal is your client or your customer whose data you essentially collect, store, and use. They have certain rights as per the DPDPA Act. The first right they have is that they can access their data at any given point. They can withdraw their consent and they can erase their data and ask you to delete their data at any given point. You as a data fiduciary should give them that access. Obligation number 5, breach notification. This means that if there is any kind of breach within the organization, it has to be notified first to the data principal if their data is breached, and then to the Data Protection Board of India. Obligation number 6, special rules for children data. Now, for any organization that is storing or processing children's data, essentially who are below the age of 18, organizations must take consent from their parents and their approval is essential. The 7th and the last obligation is the DPO appointment. Now, a DPO is a data processor officer, appointment of which is necessary and mandatory for significant data fiduciaries only. What is the role of a DPO? The DPO essentially looks after the DPDPA compliance of any organization and also takes the onus of communicating the rights of the data principal to the data principal, and in case of any data breach, reports the same to the data principal as well as the Data Protection Board of India. Penalties for non-compliance. Now let's look at organizations that fail to comply to this act. Violations involving children's data can lead up to penalties of 200 crores. General data breaches of personal data can reach up to 250 crores. Failure to honor the rights of data principal may also lead up to a penalty of 50 crores. General non-compliance may also lead up to a penalty of about 50 crores. So how can we at CyberNX help you to become 100% compliant with DPDPA? Step 1, data audit. In this, we come down to your organization, we see which of your departments essentially collect, store, and processes data. We look at what is the life cycle of this data within your organization and how it is processed. Step 2, gap assessment. In this, we compare your current security posture against the DPDPA requirements. In this practice, we find out your security, legal, and operational gaps. Step 3, process and policy updates. In this step, we essentially create a DPDPA dedicated document toolkit for your organization, which includes your ROPA document, record of processing activities, retention policies, data privacy policies, DPAs, data processing agreements, your security policies, and your consent mechanisms. Step number 4, continuous monitoring and internal audits. Compliance is not a one-time activity. CyberNX will help you with internal audits, continuous monitoring, periodic reviews, and governance oversight. At CyberNX, we help organizations simplify DPDPA compliance through practical and business-focused approach. Our services include DPDPA gap assessment, DPDPA end-to-end implementation, DPO as a service, your data processing agreements, a dedicated DPDPA toolkit, and employee awareness trainings. If your organization is unsure where to start, CyberNX offers a readiness consultation for DPDPA. To know more, click on the link in the description.